Imagine that long ago, beneath the sands of Egypt, something extraordinary was hidden. Beneath the surface, leather-bound books covered in dust, ancient writings lay untouched. These texts were hidden because they contained words so powerful and mysterious that those in power believed the world was not ready for them. The pages contained secrets that could transform our understanding of life, death, and everything beyond. These hidden manuscripts held teachings that defied the established beliefs. They spoke of power not belonging to the few, but resting within everyone. The words described a truth so bold that it threatened the foundations of organized teachings. The pages remained forgotten, lost to time, until 1945, when archaeologists unearthed them in a desert cave near Egyptian tombs. This discovery, known as the Nag Hammadi Library, revealed 13 leather-bound manuscripts, including the Gospel of Thomas. These texts contained teachings unlike any others. They did not recount the familiar stories of miracles, but instead offered stories that could unlock something far greater within each person. The teaching spoke of a realm not far away or unattainable, but present here and now. They spoke of a divine part that lived within everyone, waiting to be recognized. This part, when understood, could change reality, heal lives, and open the door to the mysteries of existence. The message was simple: greatness, power, and enlightenment were already present. They could bring an end to the Christian churches. The perception that such power belonged to everyone made the teachings dangerous. Those in control knew that if these secrets were spread, everything would change. For years, these messages remained locked away, but with their rediscovery, the world once again had access to words that could awaken something deep and ancient within. The lessons within these texts spoke of living without fear, embracing eternal knowledge, and understanding the unity between all things. They described a world where the divine was not separate, but intertwined with everyday existence. The teachings went further, revealing that death itself was not the end, but a doorway. Enlightenment would free the mind from fear and guide it toward eternal understanding. This idea, hidden for so long, suggested that physical death was merely a transition, not a conclusion. True immortality came from awakening the soul, understanding one's place in the universe, and recognizing the divine light within. These thoughts challenged the conventional beliefs that relied on fear and control. To know these teachings was to grasp freedom, making them a threat to the structures that sought to contain spiritual knowledge. The ancient texts also revealed a profound connection between humanity and the world. The divine was not distant or reserved for the few. It was everywhere, in the earth beneath the feet, in the stones, the trees, the very breath of life. Recognizing this presence transformed ordinary moments into something sacred. This understanding fostered a sense of unity, a realization that separation was an illusion. Everything was connected, and within this connection lay the path to enlightenment. Every thought, action, and moment carried significance. Awareness of this truth turned life itself into a spiritual journey. The divine part within connected with the divine all around, creating a harmony that transcended the physical world. Living with this knowledge meant seeing beyond illusions, embracing life fully, and understanding that the answers had always been within. The truths they shared were both simple and profound, offering a way of living that honored the divine presence in all things. Their message was one of empowerment, reminding each soul that enlightenment and freedom were not distant dreams, but present possibilities. The power of life, the understanding of death, and the unity of existence were no longer mysteries. They were part of a story waiting to be embraced, written in ancient words, and lived through conscious awakening. Remember to join our community by subscribing to this channel. Hidden among the ancient pages of the forbidden texts is a powerful message about self-discovery and the wisdom that lies within. These writings speak a truth long buried, that everything needed for understanding, transformation, and enlightenment exists inside each of us. It is a call to look inward, to explore the depths of our consciousness, and to unlock the mysteries that shape our lives. The teachings reveal that the path to understanding the divine begins with self-awareness. The light that guides the way to spiritual awakening is not found in distant places, but resides within the soul. True power comes from recognizing this inner light, a divine presence that connects every living being to a greater whole. This idea redefines the search for meaning. Instead of seeking answers in the external world, the journey becomes an inward exploration where clarity and truth await discovery. Inner wisdom is not something granted from the outside, it is something awakened from within. It requires peeling back layers of doubt, fear, and distraction. As these layers fall away, a deeper understanding emerges, a realization of one's own potential, purpose, and connection to the universe. The ancient texts suggest that through reflection, meditation, and introspection, the mind becomes clearer, allowing this inner wisdom to shine. Self-discovery is a journey marked by challenges. It demands honesty, vulnerability, and the courage to confront truths that may have been hidden. Along this path, one learns that imperfections are part of growth. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, contributes to the wisdom that shapes who we are. In understanding and accepting these experiences, individuals uncover the power within to heal, grow, and transform. The idea of unity plays a vital role in these teachings. The ancient texts emphasize that the universe and all beings within it are interconnected. This connection is not something to be sought after. It is an inherent part of existence. By recognizing this unity, one begins to see the divine in everything, in nature, in others, and most importantly, within oneself. This awareness brings a sense of peace and purpose as the barriers that create separation dissolve. Self-discovery also involves understanding the relationship between thought, emotion, and reality. The teachings describe how thoughts shape experiences and how emotions influence perceptions. When the mind and heart are in harmony, the power to transform reality becomes accessible. Aligning thoughts with intentions creates a path toward fulfillment and realization. The inner world becomes a powerful force that shapes the outer world, guiding actions and decisions toward greater purpose. The writings speak of the importance of balance. The path to inner wisdom requires acknowledging these dualities and bringing them into harmony. Balance is achieved not by denying one side, but by embracing both. In this harmony lies the power to move forward with clarity, strength, and purpose. Self-awareness also unlocks the ability to see beyond illusions. The distractions of the material world often cloud the mind, creating confusion and uncertainty. Through self-discovery, these illusions are stripped away, revealing the deeper truths that lie beneath. The journey inward allows for the recognition of what is essential, real, and lasting. This clarity brings freedom from fear, doubt, and limitation. These weren't just any books, they were full of teachings so powerful and surprising that they were kept away from the world. These books are now called the Nag Hammadi Library, and contain stories and lessons that could change the way people think about Jesus and life itself. Out of all these writings, 3 books stood out the most: the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Philip, and the Gospel of Truth. Let's dive into what makes these books so special and why they were hidden for so long. The Gospel of Thomas isn't like the stories you usually hear about Jesus. It doesn't talk about miracles or big events. Instead, it's a collection of 114 short sayings that Jesus shared, like wise advice from a teacher who knows the secrets of the universe. These sayings are simple but deep, encouraging people to look inside themselves for answers. One of the most surprising lessons in this book says, "The kingdom of God is inside you and all around you." What this means is that everything you need to be happy and fulfilled is already inside you. You don't have to go looking for it in faraway places. The power to change your life comes from understanding who you really are. Think of it like having a treasure hidden in your backyard. It's always been there, just waiting for you to find it. Another interesting saying talks about making the two one. It sounds strange, but it's about finding balance in life. For example, everyone has good and bad days, but bringing these parts together and accepting them helps you become stronger. The book teaches that when you find that balance, you unlock something powerful within yourself. This was scary for the leaders back then because it gave people confidence that they didn't need religious rules to connect with something bigger. The Gospel of Philip focuses on one of the most powerful forces in the world, love. But it's not just about romantic love. It talks about the deep connections we have with others and ourselves. This book says that love is the key to understanding big mysteries about life and the universe. It even suggests that when two people truly connect, they share something divine. The book also mentions Mary Magdalene, highlighting her close relationship with Jesus. It hints that their bond was more special than people were told, showing that understanding, respect, and love between individuals can lead to spiritual growth. This idea was considered dangerous because it went against the belief that only certain people had the right to understand these things. The Gospel of Philip also explains that true knowledge comes from experiencing life deeply, not just reading about it or following rules. Imagine learning to ride a bike. You can read instructions, but you truly learn by hopping on and pedaling. This book encourages people to live, love, and learn through their own experiences. The last book, The Gospel of Truth, teaches that many of the problems people face come from not knowing who they really are. It says that people forget their true selves and get lost in fear and confusion. But when they remember their connection to the divine, they find peace. This book uses beautiful stories to explain big ideas. For example, it compares life to being lost and then finding your way home. Imagine getting separated from your family in a crowd and then feeling relief when you find them again. The Gospel of Truth says that understanding who you are brings that same feeling of peace and joy. It also teaches that knowledge and understanding are the most powerful tools anyone can have. When people realize they are already connected to something greater, they stop feeling afraid. This was another reason why the book was hidden. It suggested that people didn't need to rely on leaders to feel close to the divine. They only needed to look within themselves. Are you enjoying the story? Support our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Deep within the pages of the forbidden texts lies a profound teaching, the power of unity and the beauty of harmony. These ancient messages speak of a truth that transcends time. All things are connected. Every person, every object, every thought, and every emotion is part of a vast, intricate web. Recognizing this interconnectedness brings balance to life and opens the door to a deeper understanding of existence. The concept of unity in these texts is not just about connection, it is about wholeness. The world is not made of separate, unrelated parts. Instead, everything flows together in a delicate balance. The skies, the earth, and the waters share the same rhythm. The same life force moves through all beings. By understanding this, one begins to see life differently, not as isolated moments or random encounters, but as pieces of a greater, purposeful whole. Harmony means living in alignment with the natural order of things. It is the feeling of peace that comes when actions, thoughts, and emotions are all working together rather than in conflict. This balance brings clarity. When harmony exists within, it extends outward, creating peaceful relationships and a stable world. The texts teach that only by achieving harmony within oneself can true peace be found in the world around. The writings also reveal that unity begins within. Every person carries dualities, hope and fear, light and shadow, joy and sorrow. These opposing forces are not enemies, but partners in the dance of life. The key to harmony is not to eliminate one side, but to bring both into balance. Accepting and understanding these inner contrasts leads to wholeness. It is this internal unity that allows a person to connect deeply with the universe. Achieving harmony is not a destination, but a continuous journey. It requires mindfulness, awareness, and reflection. It means listening to the rhythms of one's own body and mind, recognizing when life falls out of balance and gently guiding it back. In this practice, small moments become meaningful. The quiet of dawn, the rustle of leaves, and the warmth of the sun all serve as reminders of the greater harmony in which we exist. The ancient texts describe how it is essential for creating positive relationships. Unity among people is possible only when individuals find peace within themselves. Conflicts arise when inner turmoil projects outward, but when the mind is calm, relationships flourish. Compassion, understanding, and empathy become natural. In unity, there is strength. A connected community can overcome challenges that would defeat the isolated. Nature serves as the ultimate teacher of unity and harmony. The cycles of the seasons, the flow of rivers, and the growth of forests all follow patterns that sustain life. Each part plays a role in the balance of the whole. Humanity is not separate from this system. By living in alignment with nature's rhythms, individuals find greater health, peace, and purpose. The texts remind us that disconnection from the natural world leads to imbalance and suffering. Harmony also extends to thought and action. When intentions align with deeds, life flows more smoothly. Integrity, living in truth with oneself and others, is essential. Disharmony arises when words contradict actions or when beliefs clash with behavior. The teachings suggest that living with honesty and authenticity creates internal peace. This inner balance reflects outwardly, building trust and harmony in relationships and communities. Unity and harmony are more than ideas. They are ways of living. Embracing these principles transforms how one experiences the world. Life becomes richer, relationships grow deeper, and peace becomes attainable. The teachings, hidden for centuries, remind us that the power to live in harmony and unity has always been within. It is a call to reconnect, to live with purpose, and to find balance in the dance of life. The early religious leaders had created systems designed to control how people thought about faith, salvation, and spirituality. These systems relied on a clear set of rules, rituals, and beliefs that everyone had to follow. The newly discovered texts, however, suggested something radically different. They taught that spiritual truth wasn't found in ceremonies or rigid doctrines, but in personal discovery and inner transformation. One of the most challenging ideas was that people didn't need a priest, a church, or any institution to connect with the divine. These books claimed that the divine spark lived within everyone. This was a direct threat to religious institutions because it meant that everyone had equal access to spiritual power. There was no need for intermediaries, no need for complex rituals or expensive offerings. The path to understanding was personal and internal. The Gospel of Thomas, for instance, emphasized that the kingdom of heaven was not some distant place to be reached after death, but something already present within and around each person. This went against the orthodox belief that heaven was a reward given only after following specific religious rules. Imagine the impact of such a teaching. It gave ordinary people the confidence to believe they already held divine power. Similarly, the Gospel of Philip discussed the power of love, unity, and partnership, presenting these ideas as paths to spiritual fulfillment. These teachings clashed with the official stance of the time, which often viewed physical existence as something to be overcome or rejected. The notion that personal relationships and love could lead to divine understanding was revolutionary. It suggested that spirituality wasn't separate from daily life, but was deeply connected to it. Then there was the Gospel of Truth, which focused on knowledge and understanding as the means to overcome ignorance and fear. It presented salvation not as something granted by following rules, but as something achieved through awareness. According to this gospel, people suffered because they had forgotten their true nature, a nature that was divine. Reclaiming this understanding led to freedom. This teaching removed the need for religious leaders to define what salvation looked like, shifting the power back to the individual. These texts didn't just propose new ideas, they challenged the very structure of religious authority. By claiming that people could access the divine on their own, they undermined the power held by those who claimed to be the gatekeepers of heaven. The early church needed to maintain unity and control, and the best way to do that was to suppress any teachings that suggested a different path. Religious orthodoxy at the time required conformity. People were taught to obey, believe, and follow without question. The hidden Gospels, however, encouraged questioning, seeking, and understanding. They asked readers to look within, to reflect on their lives and thoughts, and to discover the truth for themselves. This was dangerous because it promoted spiritual freedom, the kind that could not be controlled or regulated. Furthermore, these teachings suggested that the divine could be found in everyday experiences, not just in religious buildings or ceremonies. This challenged the idea that holiness was confined to specific places or actions. If the divine was everywhere and within everyone, then every moment had the potential to be sacred. This way of thinking made religion a personal journey rather than a set of external practices. The suppression of these texts wasn't just about protecting religious beliefs, it was about maintaining power. Leaders feared what might happen if people believed they didn't need institutions to access spiritual knowledge. A society where each individual felt empowered to explore their spirituality threatened the control these leaders had worked hard to establish. These texts, hidden for centuries, hold messages that are as relevant today as they were long ago. They remind us that some truths were considered too powerful, too liberating to be shared freely. Yet now, after being buried in the sands of Egypt for so long, these lessons have re-emerged to challenge, inspire, and transform. Each of these writings offers a unique perspective. Together, they form a tapestry of knowledge that encourages self-reflection, personal discovery, and spiritual freedom. They break away from rigid rules and open the door to a new understanding, one where the divine is not distant but intimately connected to the lives we live every day. The most remarkable thing about these teachings is their simplicity. They don't demand grand rituals or complex doctrines. Instead, they ask for curiosity, openness, and the willingness to look inward. The Gospel of Thomas speaks of the power that resides within each person. It insists that the answers we seek are already a part of us. There is no need to search the heavens or the farthest reaches of the earth. The truth is much closer, hidden within our own hearts and minds. This is a radical idea, that enlightenment comes from self-awareness. By understanding ourselves, we unlock the mysteries of life itself. If you're enjoying this journey, click Super Thanks. You'll be making a huge difference, helping us continue to share these fascinating stories and uncover wisdom. If you're enjoying this story, click Super Thanks. You'll be making a huge difference. You'll be helping us continue to share these fascinating stories and uncover ancient wisdom. The Gospel of Philip brings attention to love and unity. It teaches that spiritual growth is not only a personal journey, but also one enriched by meaningful relationships. Love is portrayed as a sacred force, capable of bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual. These teachings tell us that connection to ourselves, to others, and to the world is what brings true understanding. The message is simple, but profound. When we experience love in its purest form, we experience the divine. The rediscovery of these texts reminds us that spirituality is a deeply personal experience. It cannot be forced or controlled. It is something that unfolds naturally when we dare to ask questions, explore new ideas, and listen to the quiet truths within. These teachings suggest that every person holds a spark of the divine. Recognizing this is the first step toward living a life filled with purpose, connection, and peace. Thanks for watching. Join our community by subscribing to this channel. Until the next video.